Hi, you guys. Welcome back. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is Dana Ray here, and we are back with another video. Thank you guys for coming back for another one of my videos. Thank you guys for liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing. Welcome to everyone that is new to my channel, to my little piece of the internet. I hope that you enjoy it here. And if you don't, man, maybe I'm just not the channel for you. But thank you guys. So, today I did not plan on recording at all. I just came from getting my eyelashes done. And while I was talking to the girl who was doing my lashes, I had a revelation. Like after I talked to her, I got in my car and I was like, wow, like you did that, you shared that, and you don't feel the same way that you used to feel inside when you shared that story. So this video is going to be titled Finally Healed. Finally healed from narcissistic abuse, finally healed from toxic relationships, from toxic friendships. Like finally we made it. There is there is an end to your healing from certain situations. Like it is not some lifelong thing like that people want you to accept. Like healing from relationships, there's an end. There's a point where you have reached, where you are completely healed, completely done, completely over it, have no hard feelings, and are ready to move forward with your life, with the next relationship that God desires to bless you with. I didn't know that there was a such thing as an end until I finally realized that I reached it today. Because I know, like, we always hear so many people talking about wholeness is a process. Healing is, you're always healing. I mean, you're always growing, yes, but you're not technically always healing. Like there's a time in your life where you deal with the traumas of your past, you deal with the traumas of your adulthood, you deal with the reasons why you experience those things, you grieve them appropriately, you forgive who and what needs to be forgiven, you know, do the work necessary on yourself, and then it is over. On to the next part and next chapter of your life. You are now a new creature. You are now whole. You are now ready to enter into the relationship that God has for you. Today, I realized that I reached that moment. So today, what's today's date? Today is May 26, 2022. As many of you know, and those of you who are new, you may not know, I was traumatically faced with the ending of a very abusive, very manipulative, very toxic relationship that I had. This relationship ended February 9th, 2020. So that is over 2 years ago that this happened to me. If you want to know details about how it happened and you know what came of that, you can feel free to go back to some of my first videos on this very channel and watch the entire story. You will understand, you know, why there's a channel as a result of this, why I am a new creature as a result of this, why I am a believer in Jesus Christ as a result of this. Like, you'll understand all of it. So today, which there have been a lot of times that I have had to share my story. I've had to share it when people ask me, you know, how'd you end up in California? Like, what made you come here and start to do travel x-ray? Like, what was the reason for you leaving? Like, and then if they find out, you know, that I'm single and not dating and not, you know, being sexually active, they're like, why? What happened in your last relationship? Blah, 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 blah. So I've ended up many times having to share this story over and over again. And every time that I've shared it, except for today, I have felt some type of anxiety. So initially I would feel this anxiety while sharing, like when it was kind of fresh. When I was in North Carolina, a lot of times I would feel anxiety while sharing. Even there were times where I shared my story with my coworkers in San Francisco last year in 2021. I would have a little bit of anxiety when I would share it, meaning like my throat would get tight and like my mouth would dry out. And then I would feel like when I went home, I would feel like tired, like I had done something that day, because I had exerted myself emotionally trying to tell this story and my body not relive the trauma, if that makes sense. Like sometimes when you've been through traumatic situations, when you have to go and continue to talk about it or tell people about it, your body almost re-experiences a little bit of that trauma, like how you felt, like the weight of it, like it's almost like you're in it again, but then you have to tell yourself like, no, this happened in the past, this is not what's happening now, you're just recounting it. So I've experienced that many times. Every time that I've had to tell this story to somebody, I've experienced some type of trauma or some type of traumatic reaction, like whether it be anxiety or whether it be like me feeling tired or something, like my body would respond to let me know that I told my story today. But on today, glory to God, on today, I laid there while this girl was doing my lashes, told her the story, did not have not an ounce of anxiety, don't feel an ounce of anxiety now. I told her with joy on my face, with laughter in my heart, like we were making jokes at our pain, basically, like that we went through. Like it's a level of healing, a level of wholeness that I never even imagined that I could get to. Like I do not feel like I told my story today. Like I don't feel anything. I feel like it's a normal day. And this is the first time that I have felt like it is a normal day after telling someone my traumatic story. almost 2.5 years later, I can sit here and say that I am finally, completely, totally healed from the hurt and pain that was caused by my last relationship. And I feel like, a lot of people don't ever even reach this level of wholeness and healing because they don't do the work and they don't give themselves the time to be alone. Give themselves the time to be out of a relationship, not talking to anybody, so that God can do the work on them that is necessary to be done, so that they will not go into their next relationship with baggage. They will not go into their next relationship with traumatic responses because they're like treating their new mate like something that happened in their past because they haven't done the work. So y'all, I am finally healed. I am completely healed because my body no longer reacts to the trauma, because the work has been done and God has done the work on me. I have not talked to or dated any man since I left that relationship. I completely gave and surrendered that part of my life to God. Like my whole life too, but the relationship part was the part that I never wanted to hand over to him. But in 2020 in February, I didn't have no choice because what I was doing was not working. It wasn't working for me and it wasn't working for the people that I was choosing. So my advice to you who are watching, you need to take a break from dating after you have been through any type of breakup. It may not have had to be as toxic and as abusive and as traumatic as my breakup. Any breakup. Because if you don't, you are taking unnecessary baggage into relationships. Yes, everybody comes with their share of baggage because everybody has gone through something. But there are some things that can be healed, that can be taken care of, that will make you a better partner for the person that God has for you. The time in between you getting out of the bad relationship and waiting for the person that God has for you is a time that you should be alone. You should alone as far as relationships are concerned. Excuse me for spitting. You should be healing. You should be working on on yourself. You should be focused on yourself. You should not be worrying about the opposite sex. You should not be worrying about when is my husband going to come. No, you should be focused on yourself. You should be spending time with you, taking vacations by yourself, taking yourself out to dinner, going to lunch, getting to know God, like spending time with you, getting to know you, because a lot of us have not ever been by ourselves since we were teenagers, since we were in middle school, and it was pressured on us to start dating or having boyfriends or having sex. If you be honest with yourself, you haven't been alone since then. And being alone doesn't mean always having somebody to text, always having somebody that's calling you. That's not alone. Unfortunately, I hate to break it to you. Alone to me, because I have healthy relationships with my parents, is the only person that calls me every day is my mom. That's the only person I talk to every day. For the past however many years, that's the only person who's been on my radar is my mother and my dad and my family. Like, not one male, okay? No, because I don't have time to be wasting time with someone who is temporary. I do not have time to be telling nobody my favorite color if they're not finna be here forever. I do not have time to be going out and dating, sleeping with, wasting my feelings, emotions, and time on someone who is not the person God has for me. Stop it. That's the only way. That is the only way. If you don't want this kind of peace, if you don't want this kind of wholeness, if you don't want this kind of security, then baby, don't take my advice. But if you do, if you saw where I was and you see where I'm at and you're like, oh, that looks like something that I desire in my life, take my advice. Thank you guys for watching. I just wanted you guys to let you guys know your girl is whole, your girl is healed, your girl is ready, okay? Like, your girl has experienced something today that she never thought she would ever experience. Also, this should be encouragement for those of you who feel like you should be over something, but you're not yet. It's okay. Like, it literally takes time. Like, it can take years depending on the extent of the trauma that you've experienced. Like, it can take time, but it's worth it. Like, it's worth it to become the person that God intended when he thought of you. Before he even formed you in your mother's womb, you should be desiring and wanting to be the person that God intended you to be before the trauma, before the lies, before the rejection, before the abandonment. That's the person that people need to see. That's the person that people need to receive from. That's the person that God intended for you to be for your children, for your family, and for those who you're called to. So I hope this encourages you guys. Child, I mean, my husband must be around the corner for real, because yeah, like, I am so happy. I am so filled with joy. There is so much peace in my life. I never thought that I could feel this way without other people, so I pray that you guys would do the work, would give yourselves the time, give God the time, and can totally commit to yourselves for a period of time until you have reached the level of wholeness necessary to walk into your next relationship, your next job, your next level of life properly, so that you may steward those people well, so that you will not sabotage what God has for you, and so that it won't kill you, okay? Emotionally, physically, mentally. Sometimes we get things too early and they actually harm us then because we haven't done the work and we're not ready to steward whatever these things are, whatever these blessings are. So I want you guys to walk into your lives and the next level of your lives completely whole, completely healed, completely confident, and knowing that, what God has for you is for you and no one can take it away from you. Do the work. It's all worth it. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.